collaboration guidelines that clearly states that, whenever a designer feels ready to 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 add one of their garments after an NFT has been sold to the open source library for Alana's closet, like, it's super highly appreciated, and it is something that brings value to a community. So don't misunderstand this as, Alana or Alana's community voting against CC0. This is not what this is about at all. It's just about the fact that this decision was imposed, and it's how can I say this? There was no room for compromise left. It was either go in fully CC0 or get out. So this is why, kind of this vote has been forced up on us. And of course, we're here to build, we are here to move things forward. So this is the only thing we really could do. But just be aware, it's not against CC0. Mark?
Yeah, is there room on this call to discuss, like, I don't know what the other members would like to do, but I thought that it might be a good opportunity to discuss why we voted the way that we did, just kind of, because I noticed that a couple of people voted the other way, and if any of those people are on the call, I'd like to hear from them. But I also thought it would be a good opportunity for anyone to sort of discuss how they voted and why.
Oh, it's actually only just, okay, so if you look at the DAO voting again, it says 2 against 16, right? But in fact, it's 1 against 15. So it's just one person who voted for Digital X and CC0. This person is Chesh.
Oh, I see, of course. Okay.
So, I mean, he is part of the, for those who don't know, Chesh or Francesco, he's part of the Digital X core team now. So, of course, like, it would be strange if he wouldn't stand with Emma's opinion, I think. But maybe, Mark,
So
you
vote
can
made under
explain
duress.
why you voted the way you did. Maybe that could help.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I just wanted to second your sentiment there, that I don't think there's anything intrinsically wrong with CC0. But I do think that it was a highly centralized decision. Like, there was no community involvement, bringing that proposal to the floor. And that the fact that it was, it seems to be the opinion of one community leader, that this is important and that everyone is forced to do it. And I just don't think that is very well aligned with Web3 values, even though CC0 is, right? And so that's why I voted the way that I did. It's not necessarily that CC0 is bad. On the contrary, I think that we should embrace open source wherever we can. But forcing a DAO to do something and not giving them a choice is the complete opposite of what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And so my vote is mostly contrarian to the process, not to the idea.
Yes, I agree. That's exactly what was my thinking. And Kevin and I had lunch, luckily. We got to meet in person last week, and we were talking about, like, it would be kind of cool if you could, CC0 some parts, but maybe not everything, so that, you could kind of control the way Alana was portrayed, as opposed to her just being portrayed however other people wanted her to be portrayed, which could get a little risky. And so for me, at the end, after doing some more research and really thinking about it, that was kind of like, Alana reserves the right to be portrayed how she wants to. And not, I feel like she has that right.
Such a nice way of putting it, like she is a person. Thank you, Katie. Yeah, absolutely. I think honestly all of us who voted with this kind of intention. It was never about being against, but rather, being for something different, let's just say. And definitely we're gonna work. I already created on GitLab an open source closet. Just realized this morning, so I'm sorry for this. I wanted to show you guys actually. I just realized this morning that for some reason I got blocked. So I think I have to redo all of this, and and then I'm gonna share it. We actually have a channel for this. It's under Elena DNA, and it's called Elena CC0 Closet. So once it's up and running again, I'm gonna post a link there. And whenever we sell something, or whenever one of you feels like supplying a garment to the open source closet, of course that is a great idea and we should do it. And the same counts for what Heach, and actually we have maybe a new member for building out Alter Agri, which is going to be Alana's like metaverse, from which we could then live stream and stuff. But yeah, maybe we're soon 3 people who can build this stuff, and assets that will go in there. Whenever a designer decides for it, we could upload those pieces obviously also to Alana CC0 Closet. It doesn't need to be only garments. It could be something else as well. Hey Enki, nice to have you here. Okay, so that said, or maybe Enki actually wants to contribute to this discussion. Enki, you feel like sharing why you voted for the independent infrastructure and not for Digital X and fully embracing CC0? I know you have a strong opinion. Maybe that could also help.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said everything I have to say. I feel like everyone's kind of on the same page with everything. It's obviously just kind of extreme that we all have to be forced to be completely open source, when that's clearly not beneficial to a lot of us, considering the projects that we are building out. So yeah, I just think that, there was no other choice, basically.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for adding that. Okay. Yeah, let's focus on something good, right? Good part is I had so some of you know I was not only at the Realm Runways in New York, which was actually for us it was a really good event, because I would say, and please whoever was there and feels like correcting me, but I would say Alana was on the walls like almost 80% of the time, which of course brought attention to the project and resulted in a bunch of meetings and meeting new people essentially. So that's great. It also motivated me a bunch to get something done that I want to share with you guys and ask you please for your feedback. I'm also going to share the link for this. So it's not quite a pitch deck yet, but it is I think a good document to inform new people about what our community is about and where we actually want to go. I hope. So it's an online document. I'm actually gonna put this link into the general chat for all of you, so you can have a look at this. It comes with a password that I have to give you as well. I'm sorry. Actually, there was a link without a password, but of course I fucked that up. So here's the one with the password. And so this document kind of shares the general mission and vision about the project. So you can have a read, and I mean, please feel free to tell me your opinions, because the more critique I get, the better we can actually make this. So please go for it. Then there is like a timeline, which is more like a documentation of what we've been doing so far, right? And I'm realizing those are actually non-clickable now, and I don't know why, but doesn't matter. Really important right now is that we are heading towards this part. So Alana will be actually launching her first jewelry collection on Jevels.com for Women's Day on 8th of March. So I still have a lot more work to do on this, but I have some stuff that I would be happy if you guys could also share it around. I'm just browsing through this because it's Sunday. I don't want to keep you guys forever. Then there's the almanac table, inspired by Mark Richardson. Thank you for that. Which is kind of showing what we are heading towards, right? So these are like 5 core elements we want to try and establish this year. And this brings me to the next point. We have a team now. It's not just me anymore. So Glenn decided to get on board with this project as a technical lead and Web3 advisor. Kirsty, who sadly also couldn't be here today, is very engaged in working out a brand strategy and defining a core customer for us, so we can, make more choices according to that. Obviously, not all the choices will be according to that because we want creative freedom. Then you have Heej, who is part of this call today. Heej, if you want to say hi, feel free.
Hi guys.
This was the shortest hi ever, but it's fine. Catherine is the one who is attending a wedding today. Kevin, still half asleep. I'm so sorry. You want to say a quick hi into the crowd?
Hello. I drank water. I sound better now.
You sound great now. And lastly, it's Katie, who, even though she's super busy right now, joined us as well. Katie, if you want to say
Hey
hi.
guys, how's it going?
That's so nice. Awesome.
Oh, I wanted to actually just pipe in really quickly. I did talk briefly with the guy that has the motion sensors here in Miami.
Yeah.
And they were very excited. He was very excited because he's has all the pieces except for an avatar to practice with. And I said, oh, I've got just the girl.
Oh, you're awesome.
So anyways, I made some movement on that. Just saying.
Excellent.
I'm here.
Like I said, I never doubted you. But I saw you kind of withdrawing, from not only here, but like also from social media. I was like, this girl got some busy shit going on. Yeah. And then you said like, yeah, well, Ultra is in the month. So all good. Really all good. Okay. Then, I'm sharing here a little bit about how collaborations work, or like showing a case study of a project I did or we did with Lillian, with Tanya, Stan, myself. I think this was so far like the biggest collaboration we had. So I wanted to share that as an indication for the next part that is about the collaboration guidelines. And here I wanted to show you guys specifically this part, which says data from sold NFTs is to be uploaded as an OBJ or Z project file to Alana's open source closet, unless the creator is not willing to participate, which is of course within their right, because we're not forcing anyone, okay? Good. Then there's revenue share models. Some of them we have already been applied. One is in the works, so I cannot guarantee this is not going to change in the next few hours, but nonetheless I wanted to implement it. Then there is the visual identity, which we are probably going to refine according to what Kirsty is going to figure out from her customer profile analysis. So this is, the logo, the ornamentals, the colors in hex codes if you want to use them, the typography we're using right now, and the last part is Elena's presence on social media. Right now the most active channels, if you count Discord as social media, is going to be Discord, Twitter and Instagram, and those are like right now her publication channels: Medium, Mirror and Gitbook. Like I said, I posted all of this into the general chat, so whenever you have time or you feel like you saw something that you don't agree with or you think we could do better, hit me up, like always. It's like no comment is stupid, everything is super appreciated. This is also the first time I'm doing this. Mark has already helped me out a lot and also told me what I should include, like further slides. So if you guys have any ideas, please go for it. On that note, we need a few more people for the core team. So I'm using this opportunity to request more help. If one of you feels super happy about using Instagram, because I don't anymore, let me give you access to Alana's Instagram and you can play around with whatever you want, really. I mean, don't be scammy, don't be mean. Same
I can
rules
take over
apply.
that after March. If no one else volunteers, I totally can, but just not yet.
Okay, fine.
After March.
Noted. Okay, cool. That's super. Yeah, and if anyone else in the meantime, Maria, did you open your mic?
I would like to help if until March, if no one is. I mean, Katie. Hi, Katie. Sorry, but you can take it on March, and I can help it by now. And I just wanted to say to all of you that you are very cool, and all of you do is like the future, and the presentation maybe on the news channel or on the feed that you have posted, Estella, maybe you could put that you should click to slide, because I also thought it was clickable and I was lost, and then I download my cursor and I found the slide presentation. Maybe for someone that is not that easy, like, I don't know, but for me it was really intuitive. Just a quick note, because I also thought it was clickable and I was clicking and nothing moves forward. I'm sorry.
Okay. Good point.
Just that. Just
Figuring this out.
my dumb thought. Sorry.
No. This is a good thought. Honestly, so this is also for me the first time I'm publishing something with Figma, which they have incredible tools I didn't even know before, just in case you guys also need to do something similar. And I honestly, it took me like 45 minutes yesterday to figure out how to export the presentation. I've never taken so much time for stuff like this. So yeah, really good comment. I'm gonna look in this. You said slide presentation, right? Isabel, right?
Yeah. Yes. Sorry. I got lost. And I forgot about the day. We're 27th February. So, okay, Katie, you go all in the Instagram of Lana, because I thought we were beginning of February. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No, she is actually.
Good.
No, she's
It's
actually
already March, guys. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So crazy. I was lost in my thought. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Yes,
I didn't
for
say
me,
anything.
I'm literally busy until the end of the month, and then starting in April, I'm good to go.
Yeah, so that's great. Maybe, Isabel, if you're like happy to experiment on Alana's profile for a month, yay, that would be awesome.
Yes, I can help.
And then
Awesome.
also maybe there's a community or somewhere where you'll put content.
Yeah, good point.
Stills of all kinds of stills of Alana, videos, I mean, whatever. The more BTS, creating all of that stuff.
Yeah. No, actually, we have a lot of content. I've just been too busy to share, but we actually have tons of content. So
I know, I'm sure you do. So maybe just, I don't know if you want to use Google or Dropbox or whatever you're using, but just start loading it in there.
Yeah.
And then that way it gives, we don't have to bother for content.
No, that's actually absolutely true. Also, we should include, stuff from the Git book, from the educational library, I think.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna make
Absolutely. And whatever her story, basically we can pull from all the documents that you're creating, and even the mood boards, all of that can be used to create a really beautiful feed. And
Aww, this is great. Thank you, you too. Okay, all noted down, ready to go. Sorry, I think I lost my thread of thought. Okay. One more thing about this part here. I just want to explain this a little bit further, because this is more important, so you guys know what we're heading towards, because it's actually a large plan in the making, and I want to share all of it so you guys can also, give your input or say, hey, this is stupid, or, whatever you're thinking, you should be able to share about this. So one big pillar of this year is obviously about building out a complete team, which miraculously happened so easily for now. So I'm very grateful for that part. But also, to build out our community, especially with people from Web 2 who are looking for knowledge and who want to learn about Web 3. So one essential part of that is figuring out, now that we're kind of splitting from the Digital X infrastructure, is figuring out how to reward members of our community if they do something, be it the core team or be it, the wider community. And I think the best way to do that is, we're in Web3 with the token, right? So while I really want to look into, how to engineer a token and everything, I was also told that maybe engineering a token is not super challenging, but launching it is super challenging. So if you guys know anyone who is actually versed in this and who could, serve as a mentor in building our own token that we could use for governance purposes, please feel free to share the project with them, invite them, bring me in contact, would be great. But this is definitely, it's a huge pillar, and we need to really focus on this one. The other one is the knowledge base. I know some of you know that already, but Alana has our own Git book, right? And this Git book includes a knowledge base for Web3. So one part is the Web3 library, urban, professional, and useful Web3 links. Another one is, articles, community verified articles that actually allow people who are new to the space to navigate it more safely. And Web3 short guides. I have still not gotten onto this, but Harry from Digital X, actually, he has supplied us with a lot of new content that I really want to add. And also, welcome, Kirsty! Woo! Kirsty made it! Okay, Kirsty is the last Nucleus team member that's going to join us today, so I wanted to point that out quickly. Okay, back to the presentation. So building out the knowledge base is obviously super important, especially because it's going to be used later on for building the Alana AI pod. At least this is going to be part of it. And okay, that's the second point. The third point is about creating or actually raising some seed money, because everyone wants to have money, isn't it, to build out stuff. And also our project eventually needs some capital to build out further. And so an idea that I had actually quite a while ago, and I even purchased an ETH domain for it, is having or giving Elena her own pet, her own virtual pet, that's going to be called Galathea. And so similar to, do you guys all know what a PFP project is? I know some of you know, but just if you
No,
don't,
I
it's
don't.
fine. I'm quickly gonna explain it. So I think the most some of the Bored Apes, some of the most famous PFP projects is something you've at least seen or heard of. PFP stands for Profile Picture Project, right? And so one of them is called Bored Apes. Another one you might have seen is CryptoPunks. And those guys, you see them sometimes on Twitter profiles and stuff. And they've worked well to raise money for, other projects by the same people. And so I thought, well, we can do that as well. But maybe we just try to make it better, Not saying CryptoPunks are not great. They have obviously their own right of existence. But something like this, I don't feel it would fit into Alana's universe. But again, feel free to, tell me opposing opinions why not? So this animal idea would be where did I put this? So Galathea would be an animal that is composed of 3 different body parts, and includes like different assets, like it could have wings, it could not have wings. But since Alana is in 3D, I thought it makes a lot of sense to bring this animal also into the 3D space. So, well, I cannot actually share much information right now, but I wanted you guys to be aware of this, that this is eventually going to happen. And as of now, I would say it's going to happen somewhat between September and October, I think. This is realistic. Alter Agri is Alana's home planet, and as stated at the beginning of this meeting, I had a short meeting with Heech, who's going to help me build this. And also, in case you guys know Domingo, his wife is actually interested in helping us with this. And the idea comes from like 2 sides. Alter Agri, on the one hand, is supposed to be a platform from which we can live stream with Elena, as Elena, right? That's one part. The other part is that in the long run, we actually want to build Alana's own metaverse. There are a few ideas on how to do this and with which kind of focus. But again, every kind of input or requests are super welcome. One thing I want to mention at that point is, I don't know if you've seen those different roles. There's one that's called Citizens Alter Agri, and it's reserved for people who are purchasing so-called Genesis NFTs. So if you go into Alana's Gitbook, and you can actually go to Alana's NFTs, and all the different forms of NFTs are explained under here. So for example, for the event with Bancor, we did this Premio NFT, which is like a rewarding NFT that encourages learning, right? And it usually doesn't come at a cost. It just requires you to be present. Then we have Genesis NFTs, or there is right now only one. It's Elena's birth certificate, and you can find it on her Mirror article. So if you get that, or you guys maybe not, I don't know, but if your friends would get that, they would become an Alter Agri citizen. That means that we will kind of design something like, on the Hollywood Boulevard, where they have those stars. So it would be something similar, I assume, where we will make sure that those who have supported us in the beginning of this journey are being mentioned. And any one of you from the designer side, anyone who has an idea about making more Genesis NFTs, please, you're so welcome to, just message me, and we can discuss and collaborate, or you do this by yourself even. Just let me know. And then I think the last point was, Alana's AI pod. As mentioned before, it all comes back to the knowledge base, or at least partially. And if you guys are interested in how this could potentially work, I have to look up this site again, sorry. There is actually already a project out there. It's called Alanatheweb, if I'm not entirely mistaken. I just want to quickly check if I can find this quickly. If not, I'm going to post it later. Anyhow, they have started to train AIs through so-called AI pods. And through Lauren, I had the opportunity to meet some people from ArtSect. And one of them is actually super interested in building out an AI pod. So I've been in contact with him on and off. And he really wants to do this. But I also told him, we are still lacking actual educational content that we want to make sure it's integrated in the pod, right? But yeah, eventually this is going to be set up. Any questions after this really long monologue?
I just want to say I'm so impressed by everybody here. You guys are all so impressive. That's all.
Thank you, Katie. Mark?
When you had the almanac up, one of the questions that you asked was about creating and launching your token.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to mention that there are a couple of other projects that can help you with this. Maybe worth reaching out to them just to discuss. But one is DAO Maker, and then the other one is Juicebox. And so I have a relationship with both of these projects. And so, I know the founders, and I've seen them do pretty good work over there. And so if it's something that you're interested in, they can also connect you with seed funding and other things like that. So
Yes,
I
of course.
recommend exploring those options.
Cool. Thank you so much. Would you be able to post those links in the general chat so that the others can also take a
Yes.
look?
Yeah, I'll post links to their Discords. How's that?
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's great.
Yeah, I think the AI pods stuff that's super interesting because when you look around the industry, there are a number of people who are starting to generate virtual models that the fashion industry can use because it's cheaper than using like real people, and you can auto-generate. A lot of people are starting to use stuff like AWS, where they're using SageMaker, DynamoDB, ECS, combining ML and AI engineering with image recognition and deep learning, which then basically provides out stuff to fashion brands and retailers. And I was just speculating as you were talking about the AI pod that it'd be really interesting, like if beyond Alana, we could generate a number of like virtual models, which then all the designers could, clothe and put accessories on, and you could split those models into different components and basically think about like a virtual model agency where you still have those value layers, and because we all know the whole thing with CCO, because at some point someone has to make money, right? Because everyone needs to live, but you can then decide what layers you do and revenue share and all the rest of it. But I'm starting to see like a number of virtual model agencies, potential there. Just a thought.
No, this is a really great thought. Actually,
Such a cool idea. Yes.
Katie's like, yeah. No, when we were in Denver, I stayed with a bunch of friends in an Airbnb, and one of them was Glenn, who sadly couldn't make it today. Sorry, but we talked about this, that actually the best time to make the whole Alana project open source would be after this infrastructure has been built out, and give it to everyone who wants to use it for free, obviously CC0 then, and have them build or have them use this whole infrastructure, including the AI pod, with their own model, right? So
Yeah.
something that I encountered
Yes.
when I moved here to Peru is people don't trust people like me, right? Because they've been exploited all their life by people who look like me. I mean, not necessarily like me, but I think you get the gist of it. And I don't know, Isabel can maybe also say something about this. But I thought it would be so much nicer if someone from, this country would take the whole Alana infrastructure, would create their own model, translate it into their own language, and then make it accessible for their people, to educate them on how to use Web3 safely. And I think that would make so much more sense than us, trying to create let's say 1,000 models. But I don't know,
Yeah.
deep thought. Tell me.
Because a lot of us here are multilingual. I'm English, but I speak Spanish as well, and I'm sure a lot of people speak different languages. So, hablo español. But yeah, so you probably have a lot of people that can know people in different countries and stuff.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, this way, this project would make so much more sense instead of just having it all in English. I mean, English is, it's a widespread language, so many people will understand. But of course, it comes with a lot of limitations as well. And I want to make this project, I'm saying but I hope I'm actually saying we. I want this project not only to succeed, I really want it to bring value to everyone. And this can only be guaranteed in the end if we make it open source. So, kind of wheeling back to the beginning of this discussion. While I don't think right now is a good time to do this, I think once this whole infrastructure has been built out, this is actually a great time to do it. and to make it accessible to everyone. Deep Thought, you think you could like help me more on figuring out how to set up this idea of an AI pod? Do you have any experience with this? You were using so many words I didn't know. I figured maybe you know more.
No, we all make it up as we go along, don't we? No one's an expert in any field, but we learn every day. So yeah, I mean, I can contribute what I can. I've got a real job in Web2. I work in IT, but I'm more than happy to contribute thoughts, ideas, etc. to you guys. Not a problem.
Awesome.
I just don't want to be a weak link in any chain, but I'm more than happy to contribute and stuff. But yeah, no, I was just saying because I think when we look into the future, sort of machine learning and the algorithmic side of things, and AI is going to become really important because the velocity of this is moving so quickly, right? That I think that's a great idea around the AI pods. So yeah, but by all means, I can go and do a bit of research or whatever, help anyone out. More than happy to do that.
I will write you after this. Just be prepared.
Yeah, sure. And I'll be honest, right? If there's stuff I can't do, don't know, whatever, I'll let you know.
Yeah, that's fine. It's sometimes it's just hard because there are like so many different things to just get the initial research, as you called it, done, right? And then afterwards you would have a much better idea and you can approach other people with it. But as long as everything is just kind of somehow stuck in your head, I mean, it's hard to approach others with it because it's not written on paper. So I think that part would already be super cool if you could help out with.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I believe in you guys. We're all here to help each other out, so no problem.
Definitely. Thank you. Okay. Any more questions? Anyone who wants to ask something or needs help with something? This would be a good point to speak out loud, to speak up. Okay, I think we're good. That means today's community call, even though only recorded after 10 minutes, it already had started, but it's concluded. I think, or I actually discussed with the Nucleus team that we're gonna try and do one community call per month, just to be respectful of everyone's time. If you feel like you want to have more frequent ones, of course can do, no problem. But for my side, no problem. I just don't want to have you guys feel like I know there's like a bunch of other projects out there you're attending. I know you have like a lot of work, all of you. So I want to be respectful towards your time as well. On the other 3 weekends, on the other 3 Sundays that are left over, actually the Nucleus team is meeting. If at some point you feel you want to be part of this is not an exclusive club. Everyone can join. The only, thing you should be aware of is that we ask you to actually contribute on a regular basis. So, but if you're interested in this, again, just write in the chat, hit me up. Like there is no reason to feel shy about this. And thank you, Mark, for posting the resources. I'm gonna check them out. And yeah, I wish everyone a fun Sunday. Or actually, Mark, is it Monday for you? It's Monday for you, isn't it?
Yes, it's currently Monday morning.
I'm sorry. Okay, so everyone else, fun Sunday. Mark, a fun Monday. And see you guys soon. Nucleus team, I see you later. And Burak, I have a meeting with now. So maybe Burak and I will go over to Alana's living room, right? Or actually we will stay here. So everyone else can leave.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.